Hey, what's up everybody? John from Old Running Farm here. Thanks for joining us. In today's video, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. In today's video, we are going to be replacing the deck that's coming off the top of our house. So as you can see, this is actually right off of our bedroom. And this deck is a little bit worse for wear. It's not completely unstable, and I'll show you what I mean. So these beams, which I believe are 6x6s, all go into the garage and are very secure. So like the actual structural integrity of this deck is fine, but the problem is the space between these is a lot. And now for like a good proper deck, I think you'd want at the bare minimum 24-inch on center joists so that you have a solid wood floor. And, you know, after a while, this is all pressure treated wood, but you can see how moisture has attacked all of this. I mean, look at all of that, you know, mildew or mold or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's nasty. So this wood is pretty, you know, has come to its end anyway. You know, the beams actually are solid, but the boards are just no good. There's also a little bit right here that you can see. You know, it's rotting out a little bit there, so we'll need to do some work on these. But we are going to be doing some replacing with wood that we're going to mill. So I'm going to try to use white oak for this because that's basically the consensus of the best wood that you can use outside untreated and have it last for a long time. And so that's the goal. You know, obviously we just put new siding on our house, which is a big investment. And now we have this old rickety deck that we want to make look nice. So step one is to make this deck disappear, and that's what I'm going to do. So check back in, let's see, 3, 2, 1. All right, so that was messy. I don't know if you can see. No, I guess sweaty and dirty. It's hot out there today. But anyway, so I got all of the decking down. You can see it's now in my truck. So this is what we got. So there's these big, I believe they're 6x6 posts that are coming out of the house, and these are cantilevered inside the garage. We did find that one basically disintegrated. Let me see if I can show you. Yes, so that's no good. That had a bunch of ants in it, and they were very not happy when I cut it down. But you know, so that wasn't supporting anything anymore. So we'll need to obviously build something out over to here. But that won't be a problem because this is where the support was anyway. So that big 6x6. So, you know, we can basically just put joists out there, just build like a false deck and then just secure it to the post right there on the big block. So it'll be plenty strong. We don't need that last support coming from out of the house. But anyway, now that we got this all done, looking a little crazy. And I don't know if, I think I'm going to like wrap these. So I'm going to do 5/4 white oak deck board. So that just means it's going to be 1.25 inches thick. Because then when it shrinks, it'll probably get down to about 1 inch. And then what I'll do is I'll do a little facade on the outsides of all these. That's maybe 3/4 inch. Or maybe I'll even do 1.5 inches. We'll see. I'll have to figure it out because I don't want to put like too much weight on these, but I also don't want to look at that. You know, and I don't particularly want to sand it down. Next step is going to be finding a couple of white oak trees on our property to take down and mill because I don't have any white oak currently. So let's go do that. All right, so next day, we're now out here in the woods. And right behind me is a nice white oak tree. So you can sort of tell the difference between white oak and other by the whitish bark that it has. But it's also flakier and it's got more rounded oak leaves where the red oak has, you know, sharp ends. So it was kind of tough to figure this out, but I was able to get it. And so I have, let's see, so I have the one behind me. There's one right here. There's also one right over there. So I think I'm going to start I'm gonna start with this one. It's in a little bit of a precarious spot, but I should be able to just get it to go right down. We shall see. It just stinks because I don't have a lot of white oak on our property. And, you know, I don't want to necessarily build something that's going to fall apart in a year or two. I don't know what to do. Freaking bugs today, man. It's hot. So, I mean, you know, the only important thing that I have over here is this. This is our hay. And I mean, if a tree falls on the hay, like, that's honestly not a big deal. I just don't, you know, there's some trees over here, and I want to be able to get this tree to fall. As long as it falls right here, it should be fine. You know, I've got to have like 20, 30 feet of good length there. You know, so you can see it goes up, and then there's just that one, you know, even the branches up there I should be able to use. So this would be a really good one to get. You know, it's just got to kind of be a precise drop. So we'll just have to kind of take it slow and see how we do. All right, so as you can see, my plan failed and it is now stuck. So time to get the tractor. Be right back. All right, so I actually got it down, no problem. So what I did was, and I'm actually sorry I didn't take a video of it, I was just a little amped. So I wrapped this is a tow strap, because you see it was stuck on this trunk, like right here. So it was leaning sort of this way. So I wrapped this around the trunk and then just pulled it so that it rotated the trunk off of the stump. Now it's on the ground. So I'm gonna cut her up, throw her on the forks, and bring it over to the mill. All went well. All right, so here's what we got out of that one tree. So these two, this is the bottommost, obviously, and that's a little over 12 feet. So we have about two 12-feet sections. And now I'm not sure if I'll be able to use like this whole thing. I'll obviously have to clean that off to protect the blade, but we'll see. So this guy is really heavy. Probably gonna need to throw the backhoe on the tractor or something more significant to get some ballast to carry this back, because it is super heavy. Not that it was maxing it out or anything, but without any ballast on the back, the front, if you lift up something really heavy, it puts a lot of pressure on the front tires. So anyway, and then this guy has, all of these branches. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be worth it to try to mill like this section. You know, that one is probably like 5 feet long, but maybe I can use that to cut a few 4x4s. So that should be good. As you can see, I have some branches left back there, but isn't this wood freaking gorgeous? I think it's so nice looking. Honestly, a little red for a white oak, but it's also nice that the pith is right dead center, which is the center of the tree. I don't know, I think that's pretty cool looking. Anyway, so next one is gonna be this guy, and I will bet, I guess we'll have to see, but the goal would be, I think we'll be able to drop this basically right on top of the other one. And maybe I'll cut down this little guy to just get it out of the way. But yeah, we shall see. All right, so we are back at it after a few days, and it is still very hot. And as you can see, I got one of my white oak logs on the mill. Look how beautiful that looks. It's so nice. So the only thing about this log is that it is big. It is probably a little bit too big for my mill, but I think I'll be able to work with it. Just might take some extra muscle to muscle it around, and maybe some chainsawing of parts. But so this is going to make up the fascia and the outer boards for my deck, and so I'm going to mill this down now and see what I can get out of it. So I just wanted to take a second. Just look how beautiful that is. Woo! Oh, so nice. This big knot right here I don't like. But look at that, man. That is pretty. All right, keep going. I don't know if you can see the sweat, but it is friggin' hot. But that was a very successful day of milling. It's about 2.5, 3 hours with that log. That was a huge log. And this is what it got me. And the lumber, so I put on a new blade. It's white oak, so it's really hard wood. You can see all the sawdust on my glasses. But anyway, this is what we got. We got 2 6x6s that you see, those big long pieces. And then we got 6 2x6s. So I can do the entire outside edge of the deck, and I can put up, hopefully they're long enough, the 2 big posts that hold it up, because they were done with pressure treated lumber, but they were both kind of rotting because they were both on rock. So I'm super excited. These all came out really well. I really took my time, went slow, and got some really nice lumber out of it. And this is going to be, you know, sort of the first thing that you see when you pull in the driveway, so we want it to look really nice. And I'm excited. So let's go see if we can tack this up. All right, so just had a snack, feeling good. Got my new sunglasses on. So we're all looking good. So here's what we have so far. So what I did this morning, well, yesterday I milled some hemlock to just use for the framing. Apparently that does okay outside, and I think as long as it's, you know, not immediately exposed, it should be fine. So there's 2 spots on the ends here. So this is where the post was all rotted out. So I'm just gonna need to frame, you know, from there to that post. And then it's basically the same thing on the other side. But both of these sections, and so you can see like right up there, I just have to, you know, have something going and have a small section of framing right there. But again, it should be all good. And yeah. So now what I'm gonna work on is figuring out how to get all these pieces of wood up there. because as I found with these little spacers that I laid out there, these beams are not laid out in any like sort of, they're not the same space in between each one. So I got to sort of figure out where I'm going to split, because it's 24 feet from end to end. So I know that I can do 3 8-foot lengths of the 2x6s that I just cut, but I don't know if 8 feet lengths are going to meet on a beam, and that's what I need to do. So I need to do some figuring out, and then I'll be back. Man, I'm dying out here. So doing a quick update. I'm just gonna show you something because I can't film out here because the phone gets too hot and then it won't record. So I'm just gonna show you, so hanging these fascia boards up, using these little scraps with a screw, and then I just screw them into the edge here. So you can see that one over there. Just so that way it kind of, it clips on to the highest point there and basically also makes it level. So I'll show you in a second. Man, that stuff is heavy. But now you can see, that's not attached, but I basically got it all leveled out to where I need it to be, so then I can nail them in. All right, hold on. Okay, so we're gonna take a little walk and chapow. So I know it probably doesn't look like much, but that took an awful lot out of me. Those are all freshly cut oak 2x6s, and they are extremely heavy, so getting them up there by myself was quite the task. Got these 6x6 oak posts that I am super excited about getting in there. So next step is going to be adding some framing in here, as well as joists going that way, so that we can have our boards meet. And you know, obviously, so these differ in spacing, but you know, like, so that one's 24 inches apart. This one's like 36, then it's 4 feet, blah, blah, blah. It's too much of a span to have the deck boards cross and meet there. So we need to just add joists down the middle to give us some more support. And yeah, I am beat street. So that's gonna be it for today. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. Please give us a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you're thinking. As always, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.